When Season 1 launches this March, you'll be able to unlock a new playable character for your squad, the Joker.
At least buy me dinner first.
Not only has he got to figure himself out, but he's figuring out his place in this new world and this new squad. I think we've taken him back to the kind of more vaudeville roots of Joker. He's masking insecurities with traditional Joker behavior, but deep down, he's not sure who he is.
Why is it when something happens, it is always you three?
So was that clip finally enough for you? All those people that unsubscribed or got really upset about how I called out all these Western developers for their agenda? How much more evidence do you really need at this point? Anyone standing up for these Western developers is probably doing it because they think what they put out is actually good. And they do support that propaganda and all of those forced behaviors from the ESG. I don't like it when you make these videos, Frit. Well, too bad, I'm making them because I like them. And also because they serve a purpose. They actually get people to listen. Even the ones that disagree are tuning in and hearing every word I have to say, which is good because that's all it takes. All I have to do is plant the seed and let time do its thing. Many of you that are so hell-bent on never changing your mind are going to change your minds. It's inevitable. It's human nature. One day you're gonna drop the blue hair and the rainbow signs and flags and you're gonna grow the f*** up. And realize all you did was participate in a fad that ultimately did more damage to our entertainment than anything else. Now, tell me, what happens when you mix unskilled diversity hires with $1 billion corporation? Don't answer. You already have a bunch of games in your mind to list off. And that's because it's very common now. So much so that the wokeness is now corporatized. We got corporate wokeness, the worst type. You see, because these companies think philanthropy is a good substitute for quality products. Well, look how much we support your community and back it. Doesn't that mean a lot to you? Oh, look, the rainbow flag is in the first 5 seconds of our trailer. Oh, by the way, this is, online always. Oh, by the way, this is a continuation of the Arkham trilogy. Oh, by the way, we're gonna kill off all of your beloved characters. Oh, by the way, servers are down day 1. Sorry about that. But hey, guess what? We have 100 new gay employees and 20 new trans employees. High five to us. High five for diversity. That's the real win here. Oh, that's right, you guys just got the news, right? Rocksteady was forced to pull Suicide Squad servers offline an hour into its early access release, after players experienced a bug which automatically completed the game when they logged in.
That's all. You ain't got no self-preservation, Quinn.
For this, I would like to say, thank you for the monies. You can't have it back. I like it. It's nice. It's my monies now. High five.
Oh my God. Imagine being the loser who paid $100 for this. Imagine being one of the people that said, no, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. The trailers are nothing to go off of. But now it's starting to make a lot more sense. Rocksteady pulling review codes from certain publications. It's all starting to add up, isn't it? They knew they had a disaster on their hands, and they still took your $100. And you know what the worst part is? Even though some people just faced the server shutdown, they're still on standby wanting to play it once servers go back up. At that point, I would have said, go f yourself. I get it, some want to play it out of morbid curiosity, but all you're really doing is helping ensure this game has a player count, which it shouldn't. It should die. You know, either way, this glitch was actually a blessing in disguise because people got to see the end of the game. Of all the possible glitches that could have happened, this is the one that we're lucky did take place. Without it, we wouldn't have known just how cynical Rocksteady would be towards Kevin Conroy's final performance as Bruce Wayne. I mean, never mind just Kevin Conroy. We're talking about the end of Arkham Knight's Batman. This is supposed to be the final send-off they give to the best Batman ever portrayed in video games. And I will never stop cringing that it's at the hands of Harley Quinn. Oh my God.
You think you're a team now?
You're herd animals, dependent on someone else to survive. Like you, Harkness. An illiterate alcoholic who's desperate for the spotlight.
And Floyd's a deadbeat dad. Sharky's a freak who'll never be a real boy, and I'm... What was it? Oh yeah, I never was too bright. Get some new material, jerk off. You know, Joker used to be real good at hurting people with words. But you, boop. Even when you're evil, you're still too good. You had a good run, Brucey. Flying around Gotham, punching bad guys, cleaning up the streets, causing long-term mental and emotional damage to everyone you knew. It's our turn now. After all we've been through. Oh. Bet you didn't think it'd be me at the end, huh, Bats?
Are we done with your bad stand-up routine?
Almost. But you always gotta end on your best joke.
Everything I touch dies!
Yep. That right there, that's the final time you will ever hear Kevin Conroy say anything as Batman, or the final time you'll ever see Arkham Batman on screen. Why do I say final? They're gonna find some way to bring him back. But even then, that's all going to depend entirely on reception. They're gonna go right back to the drawing board once they see this is not well received, and they'll somehow write it in that, oh, this isn't the real Batman, he's out in the multiple universe. You know how DC is every time they mess up their writing. They can always say, it was a different universe. But we're not stupid. We know you intended for this to be the send-off. And once it doesn't pay off, you're gonna pretend like you never did it. And it'll work because this is media designed for people with TikTok brains. They're not gonna like it, but the minute you tell them Batman is back, all will somehow be forgiven. Well, I ain't forgiving you. I ain't buying your crap. I mean, just check out what this ex-Rocksteady developer had to say.
I'm going to turn off Twitter this week. I think to properly enjoy the release of Suicide Squad with my family and friends. After these 5 years of development, I need some happy celebration time. Not reading about IGN and petty news. Really looking forward for people to play though.
5 years. After 5 years of development, this is what they release? That's the ending they give us? This is the state of the game? No wonder you're logging off Twitter. It's criticism that you're avoiding. And it's pathetic. Thanks to your guys' incompetence, people don't even have to beat the game to know how it ends. Having to pull the entire game off your servers the minute it launches? How'd you explain that to your family when you sat down in the living room with them? Guys, it's out. You ready to see what I worked on? Boop. No, sorry, never mind. Come back another day when the servers are back up. But I promise you, what we made is good.
Time to mute all the negativity in regards to Suicide Squad. Stop bringing up Kevin Conroy. Only he knew what was going on with the character, and no one knew he'd pass away. Who knows if the story of Batman would have molded into their Elseworld stuff like Joker did. So please, shut the flark up. Rip to the legend who gave us most iconic Batman voice. I remember when other games have released unplayable, but some of you now make a big deal about it because it's Suicide Squad. Remember Cyberpunk came out unplayable? But look at it now. I guarantee some of y'all way back defended it and don't go back to delete those tweets now. Either you look so good. If you don't like the game, don't buy it. Don't give it all your attention and energy. But hey, anything for the clicks and follows, right? Also, yes, you killed the Justice League. It's in the name Suicide Squad. Kill the Justice League. So just stop. There's a difference between disliking a game and having an opinion and overly hating a game you haven't even touched. Honestly, going into this game spoiler-free and open-minded, getting it in the mail tomorrow, and over the weekend I'm going to dive in. Might even make this game the first streamed one. Anyways, enjoy the game, everyone who's getting it.
What kind of grown-ass adult says flark? Just say fuck. You're a grown-ass man. Why are you talking like Rocket Raccoon? The hell is wrong with these people? Oh, but do tell me, how did your stream go? Were people able to watch you play the game? No? Oh wow. Bringing up Cyberpunk changes absolutely nothing about the state of this game. I don't know why people do this online. They feel like bringing up a different game all of a sudden changes everything.
People are so damn freaking weird about Suicide Squad. They act like video games never had issues during launch or bugs. Calm the fuck down. Stop thinking every game you own was perfect during launch or not having a single bug. Some of you be having unimaginable expectations.
Yeah, you hear that, everyone? Expecting a game not to beat itself the minute you boot it up is expecting too much out of games, I guess. What are you, crazy? You paid $100 and expect your video game to work? Are you out of your mind? This is why we can't have nice things. People like this. That's why we got Halo Infinite so incomplete. That's why The Last of Us 2 PC port was abysmal. That's why Forspoken was a disaster. That's why Battlefield 2042 was quickly forgotten about. This mentality of you can't always have your way. Well, I better when I'm paying money. Get that through your head. Here we are after Marvel's Avengers and nobody has learned their lesson.
Dudes can't just hate a game in peace. Why bring up a dead man's name to push your agenda? If the game sucks, the game sucks. No need to bring Kevin Conroy into this. No one knew this would be his final game. Y'all are so weird.
Do you like Batman, puppy?
I like Transformers, I guess.
What? Transformers? Do you like Batman though?
No.
No! Sorry, I just been informed by my nephew that apparently he likes Transformers more than Batman, so I can't even have this discussion with him. But I'll say to an extent here, Keith is right on one thing, and that's that people shouldn't just be throwing out Kevin's death as a point against this game. We don't need to really be bringing in Kevin to have valid points against what Rocksteady published, but it does help strengthen the point, doesn't it? Nobody expected this to be Kevin's final role, but now that we're stuck with it being his final role, and this is it hurts. So I don't blame fans for bringing it up. I mean, it is a harsh reality, that's it. But it's not like they did it on purpose to tarnish Kevin's legacy. It's just an unfortunate circumstance. I get where Keith is coming from, though. I mean, a part of you feels grossed out that people would use a dead man's name, but there are legitimate reasons to bring it up. But it is nice to see that Keith has respect for Kevin's voice acting, unlike a specific big streamer that you may all know.
Oh shit.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
That doesn't sound like Batman to me. Yeah, like I don't see that. That sounds like Alfred.
Go to the ear, nose, and throat department. Get your hearing checked.
Now, if anyone wants to see some actual disrespect towards Kevin's voice acting, that is a prime example of it. So seriously, Alfred Asman? Really? He sounds like Alfred? When's the last time you consumed any Batman material? You have got to be shitting me. I'm like, Jesus, take it easy on the guy, okay? That wasn't too bad for someone who was dying of cancer at the time. I don't think the writers to Suicide Squad meant for this to be the send-off to Kevin's legacy. But to outright say that the voice sounds more like Alfred, does Asmongold actually read comic books? Does he watch anything Batman related? This man knows nothing. Now, I will say, it does feel like people were riding this game's ass a little too hard before even getting to try it. But at the same time, you can't blame those folks. The way this project was set up, it was bound to be a disaster. Always online, only 4 playable characters at launch, updated with season passes, and of course, the inclusion of Sweet Baby Ink. And it really stings because, you know, the game's presentation is pretty nice. I'm not the biggest fan of the armor-plated costumes they give the Flash and Green Lantern. I don't even like the look they gave Wonder Woman. The setting requires you to suspend all disbelief. and scenes where the Flash could clearly eliminate all 4 members, but instead decides to toy around, or how Batman knocks them all out but lets them live. And that type of writing is really hard for someone like me to enjoy. I get it, it's a fictional setting, anything can happen, but the devices put in place for any of the storyline to even work is just laughable. And the thing that matters the most here is obviously the gameplay, which I have no experience with, so I cannot judge. But goddamn does that skill tree look disappointing. Almost as disappointing as only having 4 playable Suicide Squad members. And the limitations of turning this into a shooter are showing. It's a very difficult line to walk. On one hand, you don't want to discourage developers from trying new things. On the other hand, you don't want to encourage them to do what everyone else is doing either. And I get the side of the internet that is fed up with hearing people complain, right? The last thing you want to do is log online and see people just complain about video games instead of enjoying them. I get that. Negativity is contagious and you don't want to catch it. But you know what's a lot more contagious? Toxic positivity. Pretending this is okay. Pretending to enjoy it, despite those that don't like it. That gets us absolutely nowhere. I think a lot of the frustration comes from the fact that this game is tied to the Arkham series. May have been a little more forgiven if it was its own spin-off, and if the death scenes for a lot of the Justice League members weren't so underwhelming. Another thing too is that the game is rated M, but it doesn't feel like they go all the way with that. Not to mention it's called Kill the Justice League, but like at least 1 member isn't even killed by you. Not to mention Robin being killed off screen, or at least it's implied he was killed by Batman. It's like the Rocksteady devs forget that they're writing for a beloved Batman. Quite possibly one of the most beloved Batmans. But they weren't gonna let that get in the way of Sweet Baby Inc.'s ideas, were they? But whatever, I'll figure out some way of getting my hands on this game without having to give Rocksteady money. And then I will play it and see for myself if the internet is overreacting or if the hatred is warranted. But really what matters is not what I have to say or what the internet has to say. What really matters is what you think if you've bought this. If you've enjoyed it, or if you didn't enjoy it. Form your own opinions, don't allow the internet to convince you. But for some, that ending is enough for them not to want to buy it, and I understand. Especially if you came off the Arkham trilogy. This is the biggest slap in the face to you. So vote with your wallet, and consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing if you so choose to. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Free Congo sucks ass.